Okay, live now for a quick tweet. Right then, so like I was telling you, I don't have I haven't played the original fully through. And,
what's your level of experience with it, though?
Very light. Probably as far as I'm in right now. Not far at all.
Okay.
And watching Pop play it on and off when he was streaming it on G2B.
Okay, I feel that. Okay. So what is your level of experience with Resident Evil as a whole? Have you touched any of the other games at all?
Oh, I got into it with RE2 Remake.
Oh, okay, so you're just like a new guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, what did I do? I did challenges.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, so apparently these are going to be challenges that can be used to, when you go to the bonuses option, you can actually unlock a lot of concept art, stuff like that. You can also get apparel and things of that nature.
Yeah, model viewer stuff as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a shame that there's, from what I can see, no option to actually buy the costumes that they're offering with the deluxe version. Had I known that there wasn't going to be DLC launched out of the gate, I probably would have gone to the deluxe version. Because I did want the Dante skin to be used at some point. But, you know.
Right
Hoping
then.
there's more DLC for this down the line.
Yeah, it might be. RE2 had a little bit. All of them have had it a little bit.
Cool.
Actually, I don't think 3 really did.
No, well, I mean, 3 was basically kind of like a fly-by-night.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it was originally also the B team in the original as well. So it's repeating itself.
And I was gonna say, RE2 Remake's just one of my favorite games of all time.
Cool.
That fucking game's incredible. And then I've been playing them consistently since. I would go back for 7 definitely, and even the originals of anything, but last thing I was doing was finishing up here and moving on.
Yeah, this does seem like the second village that happens a little bit after the original village shooting sequence, which is really cool. I do know from some things I've seen there might be a new enemy type that does not appear in the original somewhere around the corner if you haven't already fought him.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
The game runs great as well. Hold on, I gotta get the lights out.
What do you think?
And RE2 Remake was even like a last-minute decision to like get it, and it was like at midnight, and I was really in the mood for it. It was unforgettable experience in general.
I love RE2 Remake. I think there's always going to be a part of me that like still holds on to how much I love the original. The original is just absolutely fucking incredible. Going back and playing it over again and actually seeing the differences between the A and the B routes, which unfortunately they basically sort of homogenized in Remake. Which I get it, you know, there really wasn't a whole need to go through and create 4 different scenarios for a game that people were pretty much, they're only going to replay those main 2 scenarios anyway.
Right.
Still, there's a part of me that's like, I always go back and I love playing the older ones. Like, I still think out of all of the Resident Evil games that I've played, the most time I've dedicated to one singular Resident Evil game is probably Resident Evil Remake. To the point where I am on like the top 100 leaderboard of speedruns on PS4. So like I love that game. I beat that game left and right. I did invisible enemy mode. I did no usage of the storage room mode. All of it. Good fun. Oh my god.
Okay, so don't have your controller plugged in if you're playing mouse and keyboard, because I just scared Rita off the couch. Oh shit.
I was gonna say, are you playing mouse and keyboard
or
controller? Because I know that the controller unfortunately has that dead zone issue right now. They're so much more aggressive when they're behind you now.
Shit. Sorry, Rita. I didn't mean for you to get scared.
Damn.
Poor girl.
Damn, it's so crazy. The atmosphere is just pouring into real life.
She didn't even hear it. She's so scared. Oh, poor thing. Hi, Jesus. Welcome.
You need to invest in a Rita cam for sure.
Nah.
Just poor Rita getting jump scared.
Poor thing. Yeah, she does that whenever. It's happened before, too, because there's a lot of games where your controller will vibrate when you're playing mouse and keyboard. I just want to get this on the map. Okay, now I got it on the map. I can move on now.
So what I think that section was they removed, obviously, since all QTEs are effectively gone,
right?
Which thank God for the most part. There's a couple of like obviously break free. Also, are you a wiggle guy or are you a hold guy? Did you change it to hold?
What do you mean for wiggle for what?
You can actually in the gameplay settings change it from having to mash out the F button to get out of grabs, or you can use it just for hold.
Oh, I've been mashing.
Yeah, I put it on hold. My old bones can't handle the mash anymore.
Right. Yeah, I think Yakuza did something similar recently.
I love it. It's one of the best quality of life things that games have been doing lately. It's just like, nah, just make it a hold.
Right.
Wild Hearts was actually the one I recently played where you can just, not only is it just a hold, but you can actually change the interval of time that it takes to just do an action.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, I can just hold for literally a second and I get all the items in the area, no time flat. So
yeah.
Good. Yeah, this is definitely a replacement for the boulder section because you're going into the tunnel.
I remember the boulder. Yeah, no boulder. You gonna pull out that flashlight? All right, never mind.
And the roof is not lined with gems this time around.
That bat face. There was a very clear frame of that bat's face. There was. I'm playing at 75, so I don't know if it showed up. I don't know if that frame got in, but there was a very clear frame of that bat's face in front of me. Looking at. Game runs wonderfully. Another RE Engine W.
Yeah, I had to go through and because I was worried because I was playing the Chainsaw demo and I was like, man, I'm getting like no frames when I'm doing this, and it just so happens that my GPU is throttling itself, and once I figured that out, I was like, okay, thank God, everything's fine.
Well, recently I came across an issue, or solving an issue, with my PC because especially after
I didn't want to say. I was like, I hope he sees it. I hope he sees it.
Oh, that could have killed me. I realized this after the Ishin stream, where people were telling me they weren't having the issues I was having, so I looked into it, and I was having an issue where my RAM has been, for the duration of I've had this PC, it's been for like 2 years, my RAM has been throttled.
Yeah, same here. I think it's just a Windows 10 thing for some reason.
Well, it's, you hear about XMP profiling?
Yes.
That's not a Windows thing, that's more of like, it defaults to a, your RAM sets to a clock speed not as fast as it could be because it's, it doesn't know that your hardware configuration. So you just tell your motherboard, XMP auto profiling is your motherboard telling the RAM, hey, you're good to run at full speed. So anyway, I've been thinking about that, and I feel with, that affected Forspoken. That's affected like every AAA game I played.
It does make me wonder if that's really what the core of a lot of the performance issues that people keep having. Because, like, I think lately I've been seeing a lot of videos and a lot of talk about how modern-day PC ports are just all quote-unquote terrible.
Right, and
but then you always have like a number of people turning around and being like, "Oh, but it runs well for me. It runs fine for me." Yeah,
and in some cases that's like shader compilation. People just aren't as sensitive to that as others. But this was, it's I feel like for, let's say, Forspoken, that game runs much better now after changing that. I never streamed it, but in Elden Ring, I had problems in the overworld, just going in the overworld, and now it's perfectly fine. I want to investigate this clicking.
Go
And
back to that. Go back to that body real quick. I love the new thing that they added with the arms and the more exposed organs. You can actually see
oh yeah.
the parasites at play.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, and that's across the board. If you vivisect somebody with a shotgun, you could see it like pouring out of their intestines. It's like so gross, but it's just that's that good horror shit, baby.
Yeah. I noticed that in I noticed that a little bit earlier. Yeah, the first time I was using the shotgun. But yeah, that's if anyone has like, I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, but it's about RAM clock speed, not how much you have. So that's something everyone should like consider. And I almost feel like it's because if I think about it, the Forspoken stream, the Star Ocean stream, it also the Like a Dragon. I've been trying to not say Yakuza, but I was trying to remember the name it's called now. So the Like a Dragon, all those streams we cover the PC version and its issues, and now it feels a little disingenuous. And I feel like I want to remove those VODs. Right, because all those games, after that change, they don't have the same performance issues. But there's still other info in them that talk about it, but...
I feel like you could just do like a quick little update on that video and just kind of add it like as an aside and be like, hey guys, this is what would actually help a lot of the issues out.
Right. Yeah, just in general, and I feel bad about that.
Now with
especially for Forspoken. Can I disarm these at any point?
Yes, you can stab them.
Nice.
Yeah. So, also when you get a chance, I know.
Go on.
They place them everywhere now. Jesus. When you get a chance, when you're getting into combat, you can also actually kind of walk up to these tripwires, by the way, and disable them.
I noticed that one.
But they are still usable. So if somebody runs up to it, you can just shoot the bomb and you can still use it against them.
Didn't know that.
When you get into combat, like hold it for a while, because I believe that I thought it wasn't the case, but apparently it is. It's the same case for RE2, where if you hold your reticle on somebody for long enough, it does zoom in to offer more pinpoint critical damage.
And that's the sign that you're going to get the critical damage.
Yes, I believe
What's making that sound?
I'll be honest, probably sounds like a wind chime.
Maybe. All right.
One of the windmills or something. Un forastero! I always laughed and tell people it's like when I was a kid and I heard one of these guys turn to me and go, "Te voy a hacer picadillo." I was like, what? But I love picadillo. Why would he do that?
Damn it.
Picadillo's my favorite. You can't make picadillo out of people. Oh.
Just imagining things. I think I saw the shine on the gun and thought it was a thing. I didn't turn ray tracing on, but I could, but it requires restarting, so I'll leave it off. That was another thing. Is then it's like, oh wow, my PC just got like unthrottled and start experimenting with more RTX. And
I don't think
really
RTX
nice
is
and,
as intensive as a lot of people make it out to be. Sometimes I think it really just depends on the engine.
Yeah. The one location I was testing in Forspoken was not a ideal place because it was already it was a loaded bar, so it made a hell of a lot of difference with that much going on and that much dynamic rendering, but the frame rate tanked. But one thing I did notice between XMP profiling before and now is that it's when VSync kicks in, it like actually sticks to it. And when I was playing Forspoken and it was dipping below 60, it would lock to 30. And it was not doing that before. It would stutter between 30 and 60 and be like 40 or 50.
Right.
But now it doesn't do that. Not like, though RE Engine has always been so nice, I don't think it would have had problems anyway.
Over the years, Capcom are... I put them right up there with, I'm forgetting their name, you can help me out with this. They do the Demon Souls remake.
Blue Point?
Blue Point, yeah, Blue Point. They're like right up there with it just being these amazing masters of creating these incredible engines that run so well and
Yeah.
look so good. Then again, Blue Point are literal wizards at some point. I don't know how they get away with half the shit they do.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that with the Dragon Engine for the Yakuza games, but they're still unsure if they're moving on to Unreal. Even though I'm not having the problems, I hope they do stick to Dragon Engine.
Did you actually get a chance to see any of the Unreal tech going on? I watched a little bit of it, and I was definitely blown away by their procedural generation for their environments.
No, I didn't look too much into it.
Insane. It was insanity. It's so cool. Basically, there was this like plot, this like very small plot of you know, man-made land that they did, and they were able to procedurally generate situations like around the man-made part of the map. And then they could just as easily, like, literally grab one part of the section, like one section of the procedural generation, move it to the right, and the engine would, like, fill in the lines and create pathways, like, instantaneously.
God damn.
I was like, it is insanity what Unreal's doing. They also did, the motion capture tech is also really good for it being experimental where it's at. And I think it's going to help a lot of indie developers who... obviously mocap is like such a like ridiculous amount of money to get into, you know.
Did I go over here?
Oh,
no? Yes, I did. I think I did. Because I remember this higher bridge. Yeah, I went over there. Okay, we're good.
I know that earlier REs would do the thing on the maps where it would literally show you, it's like, okay, you picked up every item in here, and it would be like blue versus red. I don't know if it's on the map is similar to that.
Yeah, I feel like it is, because it is a different shade of red than like the black here, but everything in 4 is more organically designed, so it's hard to say.
Right. What is the I'm seeing the jewel right there. What is that?
This one? I think that was a lock drawer.
Ah, okay. So you might need to come back to that. Let's make a...
There's some things earlier. There's a lock drawer back here. There was a... oh, down here.
Yeah.
To show what it is. Well, you need 2 people for that one, so... come back later for that.
Le backtracking.
Oh, great.
Oh! Okay, so this is where they put you this time.
That hurts, you know? Seemed like you really wanted to talk. How observant, senor. Now, say, you got a smoke? You know, those things will kill you. Oh, well, maybe just untie me then, huh? Joder, not this guy! Who are you? Yeah, stop right there!
Great.
There's always got to be a tyrant.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. That's very quick. All right, that happened. I mean, it happens in the same area, but there's a lot more characters involved in that whole thing that just happened. So, it's definitely a big change.
Hard chapter ends too. They released game-ready drivers. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, they were today.
You will receive our most sacred.
There you go. It would be here. This like conversation is happening.
Begins now.
Sorry, Rita.
Oh, what the fuck? Hey, stop it.
What is this Saw level contraption shit going on?
Got a name? Leon. Quiet type, eh? I'm Luis Serra. Guess you, me, picked the wrongest spot to vacation, eh? Hey, stop it. You move, I move. And I'm beat up enough as it is. I can see you're thinking. Bet you've been in spots like this before, huh? I guess you're here looking for...
Mice in his head are moving.
One more
The
guess.
light bulb's on.
Maybe.
Come on, Leon, share a joke.
Young girl. Talk.
Now.
Great.
And now that's going to be in at least 3 Rule 34 compilations.
Moving her. Where?
Who knows? But later, saw some men dragging someone to the old church. Hanging with you, not healthy.
Oof.
Shit.
Hey, we're not done here!
Later, amigo.
So one of the core complaints that people have been kind of lobbying at this game, which is so funny in consideration to it being also another complaint that people have had before. Oh, okay, that is different.
Right.
Okay, so you would have your stuff before. So I guess you gotta go pick it up this time, which makes a lot more sense.
Condor 1 to roost.
This doesn't
Located baby
pause the
eagle.
game anymore either.
Sounds like she's being kept in some church.
Great. That's good news.
I heard it from this guy I met. He said his name is Luis Serra. There's something fishy about him. I need you to run a background check.
We'll call Condor 1. I'll see what I can find. In the meantime, make your way to that church.
Just casually fucking stomping out a
different
whole
confession
IKEA
anyway.
box. Fucking...
Condor 1, out.
I was saying, so people are not necessarily on board with the more serious Leon.
Right,
and I
though he
think that
still-
makes no sense considering the situation. And he's also, I mean, he literally lit a cow on fire and says, "Bill me later for the repairs." Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, he's still it's still campy in that regard. He's still got lines.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so you're probably going through... This is entirely different. It's like a forced stealth section, it looks like.
Oh, it said space. Okay, I thought it said shift.
Yeah, so if you just hold it with the weapon fire out, you can just kind of like pinpoint, but if you just slash without it aiming...
Yeah, well, this is spacebar.
Yeah.
Yeah, get him, Leon.
No one to get yet.
Max and I were talking about this. Leon is infinitely cooler than Chris Redfield. It's insane. He's
I
the
think
best.
so, yeah.
He's Max was like, man, why wasn't he in Marvel?
Right? Yeah. Yes, yeah, Jill, but still.
Yeah.
I
I always feel bad because Jill is like one of the best especially after RE3 make. She's incredible. She's one of the best protagonists out there, and she, God, she needs a better game. She gets the short end of the stick every single time.
I thought that was the thing of the original RE4 still. Even with its camp and Leon how he was, it was still touching on the fact that he's traumatized.
There's like a small bit of it that he refers to at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But in the original, Leon is far more jokey in comparison. He hits on Hunnigan a lot.
Huh.
Like anytime that he's on comms with Hunnigan. And one of my favorite lines, someone did a really silly comparison back and forth of like a fan art of all the different things that he actually physically says in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do a quick read through of some of those lines for you real quick, because it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Women,
That's
about
right,
the obvious. Yeah. Sadler, you're small time. Where's everyone going bingo, which I'm so glad they kept in.
Yeah.
Hey, it's that dog. And then your right hand comes off. And then also, no thanks, bro. Said just like that.
That's kind of Capcom's whole thing. Capcom doesn't make stellar writing, but it's fun and
Well,
campy.
it's the sixth generation. I mean, you got to remember the
it's-
sixth generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Like writing the best written Japanese games were Metal Gear games, which when you say that out loud sounds insane.
Right. I was gonna say though, there's just when you retrospectively look at it from a writing perspective, you kind of see it like a big like plot hole in why isn't he more traumatized after everything he went through.
Right.
It's like I was saying with the original FF7, why does when the plate's about to collapse, why does Aerith not warn anybody, and instead she just goes for Marlene in the original? She doesn't warn anybody, and then in remake they're like, well, we can't reasonably like do that. We have to make her warn everybody and make that a part of it.
Yeah.
Like you can't avoid the fact that she wouldn't warn everybody.
I've definitely warmed up a lot more to the remake changes in 7, I think, as time has gone on. I think it was just the initial shock of, you know, Zack being alive. It's like, holy shit, what are you talking about? Like,
But
that is the most vital thing.
We were expecting a remake.
Yeah, and what
we
we got
did-
was a sequel, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I guess we're on board, fuck it, you know?
It gets so off base though in discussion. It gets harder to. It's getting easier to discuss. But so many people that said, I will wait until everything is out. What are you waiting for? It's not a remake. There's nothing to wait for. It is a sequel.
No good.
I wouldn't say it's an entirely new thing on every Horizon. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of beats. Like, excuse me. I am looking forward to crying my eyes out during the Dying fight. That Dying fight's going to be incredible.
Right.
I cannot wait for that.
Oh, I see.
Oh, it's timed.
Yeah, I can do that. Anything that would, oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Yeah! Fuck yeah!
It's way further than I thought.
Action hero dive, let's go!
There we go. Also, auto sorting.
I'll be taking these back.
Yeah, so...
That's a controversial change.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it is. The idea that so many people are like, yeah, there shouldn't be an auto sort button. It's like, guys, look, you live in the modern day, right? Accessibility options and quality of life changes are quite literally the go-to factor. Hey, there he is!
Hurry stranger.
Took a little while, but he's here.
That?
Yeah, that's a pretty inevitable one.
Yeah.
Let's do some business then, eh?
1 second. Requests.
You're right. I have been picking up an inordinate amount of weird money that I have no idea where it goes to.
I'm doing a comparison. There is RE4 would be RE4 has been ported to every single console that has released since it released.
RE4 is the Skyrim of survival horror game.
It is the Skyrim of the 6th generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Because it has been on all of them. So, no, it's a little. That would be a very overwhelming task. That would be like trying to. That would really be like trying to tackle, not even Skyrim, but something more like Doom.
Oh yeah.
It's that would be really insane. So, I also haven't played the original. There are people way better suited to cover what's been changed and the in-depth intricacies of it than me.
Oh, but you're not playing this right, Austin. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a Patreon goal, guys. If you spend a little bit more money, you know. Hold on, wait a minute.
Well,
Hey, nudge, nudge.
As I struggling with how overwhelming Symphonia is, and then also
Oh,
Battle
God,
Network.
You're doing a Symphonia one? Oh, God bless you.
and then I'm doing all the Battle Network games, and that's technically 10 games.
Yeah. Oh, this music. Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, that's a really good remix.
Do the main versions. That's still like there are better people that could handle that than me. I'm not well versed enough in RE4 because this is my first time playing. That would be a monumental task even from that to this.
Yeah,
as I see,
he's
like
at the beginning of the screen that he is just recent. Like this is his RE4 experience. Is
right. The things I've seen people point out too, like I never would have thought to check. and it's probably there's probably like months worth of small details people are going to find about this game in the original. So
Yeah.
the best I could do wouldn't be up to my standard.
Yeah, the comparison video with the original is that you're talking about like literally every single version that would like continue on has like like a huge sufficient amount of content to the point where like the PC release of RE4 right now I would say is the quintessential one in terms of it having all the content. But then I think arguably the most fun versions of RE4 are on the Wii and the VR version respectively.
Yeah.
And each of those are also entirely different fucking ball games at the end of the day too.
Yeah, the VR version's an Unreal game.
Yeah, it's an Unreal game, and you can the combat system is way more efficient because you can dual wield a TMP and a shotgun, which obviously you can't do in this game because it would, or in the original, because it would absolutely ruin all of the balancing.
Right.
So, you know.
That? How you've got a
I do want to give a shout out to that guy in chat because he's saying he's going through Legend of Heroes, which, you know, good luck on your journey. I'm glad people are finally playing that game. I'll get Austin to play it when he's not busy, but that'll never happen.
Right.
It's too much of time investment, honestly.
It really is. It's unfortunate that it's like JRPGs are usually that long, and then there's these games that are like can be 50 to 90 hours, and it sucks because I want to put more time into them.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, especially with the Legend of Heroes series, where my average playtime with all of the games was at least 40, and that's going through without doing some of the side quests and stuff like that. So
all my wares are in tip-top shape, I assure you.
So you get the bolt through pretty fast. Okay.
Versions of Symphonia. Yeah, GameCube, PS2, PS3, and since we're doing Chronicles, we'll also do Dawn of the New World, so that's Wii and PS3. And then Steam, and then the remaster, which is on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. And then the Switch version. The Switch version has a lot of really weird issues that make it stand out compared to the PS4 and Xbox versions. To that degree, I can't believe that they published it and actually released it. It's getting patched, but that is a kind of that's a kind of hard one to believe that they actually like
what can I do you for?
Release Tales of Symphonia on Switch in the current state it's in.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some hints with some meta going on right here. All right, so you got a couple of options going on.
Yeah.
The next section, I believe, is pretty much 1-to-1, and making some space for a rifle would be really good right here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit more space never hurt anyone.
So
Perfect size.
hopefully you don't encounter that section immediately.
Anything else I can
but yeah, it's probably the best go-to thing. Get as much money as you can, buy that rifle, and then you're good to go. Also, so this game obviously allows you to put things in storage now, which the original did not do.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But I would think about there's a lot of essentially like you'll find a rifle, and then like the next one will be like a semi-auto rifle, and how it always was like the meta was like, okay, just sell that upgraded version of the old rifle, get that money, and then buy that into it, and also have that space available to you.
Yeah.
That'd be completely fine.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're going through the FF7 route, where it's like you could just play with whatever you want, and all the weapons seem to have like a viable upgrade path if you want to keep it there.
Yeah, RE8 kind of did that, but it didn't have as. I have to imagine this has more weapon variety than RE8.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it still kind of did the same thing. Have hold on. I need to.
The Hunter's Lodge key was the first thing that you used.
I know, but does it have any more uses left to it? Because I
have no idea.
Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, I wish it told me it there. Well, actually, it probably wouldn't let me sell it if it wasn't ready to be sold.
Oh, it says it right there, the key to the Hunter's Lodge basement.
Right, but I've already used it, so. Yeah, I have to imagine it wouldn't let me sell it if I couldn't, if it still had uses left.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's very unique. That they're actually allowing you to just sell the key items now.
Yeah, might as well. A little more money. Ah, okay. Sonic Colors, Switch Bad. I can... Hold on.
I do see one thing I want to remark on real quick is that it feels like the original GameCube version is best since it has 60 frames per second. Absolutely, 100%. You would do much better to emulate the GameCube version on Dolphin of Symphonia, and that is the best version of that game.
Yeah. Why no signal?
Oh no.
Switch literally went to sleep as soon as I picked up the controller to show this.
God bless.
The frame buffer effects are broken in the Switch version.
Oh my
so
God.
What that means is when you do skits, skits are on a black frame because it can't use the frame buffer. So when you pause, it goes to a black screen, and worst of it all is when you go into a battle, the glass transition's gone.
Be careful, everyone.
What?
No way! Don't overdo it.
So,
Whoa! That looks so gross. That is so gross.
So yeah, that's the state of the Switch version. The fact that it's the frame buffer, any of the frame buffer effects are completely broken in the Switch version. Also, the lighting in battle is fucked up. So the fact that they just left the frame buffer effects off and just hid the battle transition. Like, what the hell's going on there?
You know what that reminds me of is the effect almost looks like super similar to that of like if you remember just casually moving the N64 cartridge a little bit to the left or the right, and it would glitch this game out.
It's just Bandai keeps screwing Tales of Symphonia every time they port it. Yeah, it kind of seems that way. And then, you know, when I do the video, it's not going to be like this. Well, I mean, I'm still going to mention this all in the video, but they said a patch is on the way. But if they're not going to patch it by the time the video's done, then it's going to be in the video, so...
It's really strange to think with all the remake culture going around with all these games and all these people, like, very successful remakes.
Yeah.
That Bandai Namco hasn't at the very least thrown around internally the idea of a Symphonia remake.
Yeah, I think Symphonia would be a great game to remake.
Yeah.
It's very much worthy of it.
And they have an engine for it, you know?
Yeah.
I think Arise uses Unreal and it looks amazing.
Yeah, Arise is on Unreal.
Games out there. Well, next to, like, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, I don't know if you've seen any the more recent footage of that. Whew.
Yeah, Bandai Namco is all Unreal, but apparently they're working on an internal engine. Apparently.
I think it's the same engine that the guys who... It's the multiplayer engine. It's the God Eater guys are linking up with the Freedom Wars guys, and they're working on a internal multiplayer engine that they mean to sell as like a thing to other Japanese developers for more modern multiplayer games. And the first one is
not a bad idea.
Their follow-up to God Eater / Freedom Wars, which I'm fucking pumped for. I want to hear more about it.
Right.
I'm super on board for. There was, especially considering that there was, in the concept art, some kind of weird social networking thing at play. And I don't know if you remember Freedom Wars at all, but they had, like, sort of something similar, where you had to, like, you get points for your panopticon, or, like, your main homie's base and stuff like that. And you could represent your home country and things. It was so cool.
Fuck it.
Oh, this is cool. I like that they actually have, like, a... sort of, what do you call it, a directory, or like, you know, just like a thing you can actually pull up and be like, just you can mix a crafting table, I suppose.
Yeah, very in RE Engine game fashion.
So, I will tell you, you can nothing to hurt out here. But if it's like the original, keep moving. What you gotta find are some insignias. You gotta get out of here. This is a constant battle section.
Looks like it stopped. Thankfully. I will move on, though. Oh, they're still coming.
Yeah, no, I
I'll come back
heard
for-
the homies
yeah.
around. I was like...
Waste of ammo.
Un forastero.
Next.
Ooh. God damn! So you're on standard difficulty, I'm assuming, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth because I think that both in RE2 and 3 Remake, the balancing for hardcore difficulty is awful. I think hardcore difficulty on both those games feels miserable.
Yeah.
But they've already shown that there's going to be a professional mode that is unlocked after one playthrough of the game as well. So
I heard about that, yeah.
I'm thinking with just because of how the movement feels and the mechanics that I play for Leon, I might go hardcore for my first run through.
Right.
Because they even sit there and tell you, like, they go, hey, if you've played Resident Evil 4 before 2005, go hardcore.
Right. Yeah, I could see it not having the... Did I deflect that, or did it miss me? I think I deflected that.
You can indeed deflect it with some of the funniest things I've seen are one guy threw a grenade and it collided with an axe and it fell down and fucked up the trajectory and blew everyone up around him.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, just not being, like, as tight of hallways, it doesn't fall into the issues I had, more or less, with RE2 and RE3 on the harder difficulty.
Oh, yeah. Well, because the biggest issue that I think a lot of people had with the idea of remaking 4 was that it was so much more of an action-based game, so that seeing RE2 and RE3 was like, okay, but these are obviously trying to bring back the more survival horror aspect of it, which is great for those games, but the level of progression that happened between 3 and 4 was massive. It was a huge, like, leap.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, they had to continue it to where 6 got to arguably a lot of people always have like they're iffy on 6, and I understand that wholeheartedly, but like there are mechanics in 6, like third-person shooter mechanics, that I still think other shooters should use. The idea that, I don't know if have you played 6 at all or
no.
So there is a move, Austin, where you could sprint into a slide, but then if you flick your left thumbstick as you're sliding, you can turn on your back and you're sliding and shoot backwards.
Shit.
And I was like, this is amazing. Why is it in Resident Evil?
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then you watch a lot of the silly 3D Resident Evil movies, and those are all amazing and fun. And after a certain point, I just kind of like was in on the joke, right? Where it's like, okay, at this point, it makes sense for Leon to be the high-flying, super backflip kicking man.
Yeah.
That he is in every single thing, because this man has been fighting BOWs for the last 20 years of his life. He is clearly in his 40s. And he's sick of it all.
Yeah.
But, like, he's just, you know, obviously his power scaling needs to be at a certain level. And I'm glad that they're actually realizing that in this one as well. And it seems like they've found a really good balance between the atmospheric horror of, like, the older survival horror games and the more in-your-face action of RE4 original.
Yeah. Should I have left when the door opened?
So, did that door open at all?
Yeah, this opened yeah, that was the first thing.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
God damn it.
This is an endless combat section otherwise.
I know, but there was nowhere beyond here.
It looks like they actually decreased the size of it. This is a larger section in the original. Well, larger in the sense that that section right there was bigger. That seems to be a lot smaller.
So my next step in progression is going back.
No. You go forward.
Okay, well, that's what I thought.
So
It was just
so there's a lock.
Shit.
There's a locked door on the other side, and what
Yeah.
you're supposed to find are 2 insignias you have to combine to put it into the door, and it's around the village of that area.
Present for you.
Yeah, tell him, Leon.
Yeah, Leon. Yeah, Leon. Get him. Leon's so goddamn cool. I just want to hug him. So this like
And like
weird
tell him it'll be
Lost
alright.
Brothers- Yeah. I don't know if it'll be alright, but I'll lie to him. 100%. The man's got a hell of a life ahead of him, I'll tell you that much.
Oh shit.
Okay, so you see there the hexagonal emblem? I believe that's one of the things you have to pick up. Let's see that.
Pick up out of it? It looked like it was...
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Alright.
There's a door around here you gotta find to get on out of there.
Alright, that was a good shot. That was a good shot.
Holy. Oh, man, I'm glad I took tomorrow off. I'm excited.
What a waste. I mean, because there's the hexagon-shaped slot back here.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe go back.
Because that, I mean, it feels like
I'm
it
not
had me
seeing
open.
another door. They might have reworked this.
It might as well try. If not, it'll give me something. Excuse me. Man. It's very cool
Grannies
that
are officially the worst enemy in this game. They are so much more hardcore.
the anytime you if you this is what I like about this game, and I understand why more games don't do it, but when you go to you can parry out of any animation you're in the middle of. If you're reloading, you can still parry.
Yeah.
And I get why not everyone does that, but I do like it.
That's that Capcom, baby. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No. No. Back. No. No. Okay, so I'm using ADQE to flip this around. Damn it!
all right,
I saw what to
there
do
we
the
go.
whole time. that was a puzzle of figuring out the controls more than figuring out the puzzle.
It's fine. Listen, the other day there's a puzzle that happens in the original for where you play as Ashley for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that puzzle might as well be move this thing in a circle. And I screwed it up. And it was bad because you can't reset it without walking a really large amount of time. So my roommate was watching me just going, "Oh man, there's girls watching, everyone's looking at you, and there's so much egg on your face."
Oh shit.
By the way, you can crouch those. If you are fast enough and someone's coming at you with a grab,
Yeah.
you can crouch it and dodge it.
The crouch is like selective though. Like I can't crouch right now.
Yes, you can. Press E.
Oh fuck off. I've been pressing C and I want to talk about it.
Just take a look at the controls real quick, bud. See what else you're missing.
I think that was it because it had there were like two parts that were like tutorials for crouching.
For crouching, yeah.
And I for some reason picked up that it was control, and then I wasn't doing it again, so I thought it was situational. Like if I
Yeah.
walk up to this, it might tell me again.
Yeah, so
No, you're supposed to know by this point.
Your E is basically your dodge button, essentially.
Right. Oh, were you kidding?
That one was just rude. That one was just rude. You just kind of looking at it. And
Yeah.
said no, nom nom. A lot more of those in this one than in the original, for sure.
Mm.
It also doesn't help that they can set it up mid-combat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did it it do damage? Because I don't think it does damage to me.
I don't know if it might do an insignificant amount of damage because of the fact that there's so many of them in the environment. That might be the balancing.
I might because it doesn't bring up the health bar, so I'll have to look. Or if it does, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have the original costumes in? I don't know.
By original costumes, what do you mean? Do you mean the pinstripe and the pop star? Because they have the knight armor and the pinstripe,
Yeah, those ones are in. Yeah.
but not pop star. Pop star is not in.
Oh, okay.
I think it's before people sit there and yell to the presses and go to censored gaming and blah blah blah. I think it's less about like trying to be woke and more just so about like this version of Ashley is not necessarily one that they would like sexualized in the traditional sense.
Right.
So, where a lot of the Ashley costumes back then were, they just made her a ditzy blonde, and this one they really want to kind of go in and hone in on the relationship between Leon and Ashley. From what I can tell from reviews, everyone is saying that like, there's a lot more of a mature relationship between the two now.
Mm.
And then basically putting her in a situation where you can see up her skirt and everything like that would be really weird. But if you're talking about like the OG costumes, Ashley is wearing just a jacket. When the jacket comes off, it's her OG costume. Just like when you look at Leon. Leon is in his OG costume as well.
I thought it said influencer.
Logan Paul's been through here. We must remove all of the Funko Pops.
There it is again. Also, that sound. If there's something
Wind
there, I
up
want
doll.
to see. Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Damn, 16 of those.
Looks like you gotta start doing backtracking.
I can come there later, since apparently I guess we will anyway.
I'm assuming the Knight Armor also works the same as it did in the original, where it makes Ashley ungrabbable. So it makes that game... Oh, hello!
Hi, welcome back. Oh, shit. I was just gonna
So
walk
fun-
away.
So fun fact, stun that guy twice, stab him twice.
Okay.
If you stab him twice, goes down. Okay, so
sick.
if you keep on him, there you go. If you were able to keep on him the moment that that came off, he has to turn his chainsaw back on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, how generous. That was so generous. Damn it, dude. Put that down. Oh, God damn it.
Oh no!
He whiffed. He whiffed.
Everybody's just not doing well. Oh, nobody read the memo, Austin. Oh, there she goes. She said it. I love Picadillo.
Nice. Oh, Jesus. He couldn't even do that from the front. You see that?
Yeah.
I would have to melee him from the back.
Yep.
Put that down. Jesus. You're down. Are you done?
Finally.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Just a random Salvador? Like, holy shit. Go back to that well real quick.
The well. Okay.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, take a look. Okay. See that, that there right thing? Shoot that bar.
Can I melee it from here? No. It's worth a shot.
Now shoot that hanging. There you go.
Imagine losing that.
So what you can do is if you, that's the way that it teaches you. In the original, it's something very similar. You can shoot it while the lid is still up, but it's dirty. It dirties it and brings the value down.
Oh.
So if you shoot the bar, it protects it, and you have the pearl necklace, and that's completely fine.
That's what I was gonna... Oh, man, we've already made all that money back. I was gonna imagine that's what happened if you shot it with it open.
Oh no, this is very forgiving for that.
So it doesn't even let you shoot it.
You can shoot it, but like I said, it'll fall into the water essentially. And
Yeah.
just be like gross. And they're gonna pick it up out of the dirty fucking parasite water.
But it would still keep the value in this one.
Yeah.
Stop by here real quick.
Why not treat you? Welcome. Got a selection of good things on sale.
Sail, stranger.
Please fix.
Good luck to
Thank you.
stranger.
What happened to all those knives I had before? Oh, they
so
were
you go-
kitchen knives. Or were
Yeah,
they?
so you go through them.
Okay.
What you do is you have to equip them, like, personally.
Well, I mean, there were like 4 of those.
Yeah, but unfortunately, from what I can tell, apparently it doesn't go through the knives first. It's the one kitchen knife essentially goes on, and that breaks, it automatically defaults to your main knife.
I mean, I feel like it did because I did have more of these, and I was not selecting them manually.
You might be right then, because that's what I thought I read was that it doesn't
Well-
do that, but
Maybe it does. No.
maybe it does. Thank God.
All my
Okay, so
wares
for the
are in
rifle,
tip-top shape.
I saw something way cool that like the original does
Well,
not do.
What can I do you?
There is a scope on the originals, like in the original game for that. You can get the scope here,
You'll get some
but if you want to
bang
buy
for
the
your
rifle, you can
buck,
see what I'm talking
I
about.
guarantee.
And there's an option to now fuck around with it when you're aiming down with it, and it looks way cooler to me.
Wish your enemies sweet
Okay.
dreams from afar, with a bullet straight through their heads.
Oh, he's way
Go
more
on, take this as
vindictive.
well, free of charge.
Oh, hello. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, it was yep.
that's really
Hello,
cool.
stranger.
Now that's a
Let me
businessman
know.
right there.
Okay.
Come back.
All right. So before you use the scope, because you got to combine the two, pull out your rifle.
Anytime.
Oh, it didn't automatically
Yeah,
put it
right,
on there. The other stuff so far has been on. I don't want it there. The other stuff is automatically like put it there.
Oh, you can just mash 3-3. Yeah.
Okay.
Now aim down it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen in the original. There was no iron sights.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have
it's
just
really cool.
still been all over the shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome. Ooh,
Oh right, now it's already in my inventory.
Parts. Yeah.
Oh, because it can just. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So now it's gonna change it to a scope.
Nice. 5 shots.
6 shots.
Okay, I have to do that. I wish I could click and drag on the shortcuts.
Yeah, I think that's like a weird thing that they just didn't do, but I kind of understand what they did here. It's definitely made for a controller. For sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Because you could see you just literally press the D-pad and it registers to it.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
I'm so glad that they did the whole just press the original button twice as opposed to having to go and press 6. That's such a good quality of life thing that other games need to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, in general, like it was one of those things where it really didn't feel like this game needed a remake, but they did show enough promise for it. In doing it.
Well, the thing is, right? So you look at we talk about how crazy Resident Evil has gotten, and 6 is the penultimate. Like, you are running around doing crazy melee combos. It might as well not even be a horror game after a certain point.
Right.
And it makes sense because the people you're playing have been basically screwing around with POWs for 20 plus years at this point. So they're all very highly trained agents, essentially, that
Yeah.
For the most part, just kind of get the NPC treatment, or you're gonna play this character in a powered up section near the end of the game, kind of like how the Village does it.
Yeah.
Where, and then you see from 7 to 8 that like they wanted to still kind of keep those elements of action at play while still being able to hold on to the horror aspects. So they love survival horror. They love the whole concept. But it would be impossible to make a Resident Evil 7 that follows directly off of 6 without it being just like a Call of Duty game after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, they had a power levels problem.
Right, so you could see that there was a massive issue for them in terms of how they just approached their overall design and development. And not to mention the fact that you're talking about like the 7th generation of consoles when all of these games were being made. Capcom had this really weird thing where they would try to appeal to the Western market more so than anything, and kind of just miss the point of what made the Western market love Capcom games.
Yeah.
And you could see that in things like outsourcing Dead Rising 2 and outsourcing Lost Planet 3, DMC. Like they tried desperately to reach onto a market by approaching other Western developers and publishers and being like, do what you will with our properties, and people either hated it or just it never sold enough. It never sold well. So they went back to the drawing board with the 8th generation and were like, you know, what can we do better? What is it that people love about us? And it's like, let's just go back and redo this and see what happens.
Right. It was a long period where, whoops, they were trying to, while they were in the process of R&Ding RE Engine, all their games were using Unreal, and were not like as well thought out, and were more like even for their AAA things like Street Fighter V was a victim of this, and MVCI is a big thing of it, where they were not even like growing pains, but they were just waiting for RE. They were games made while they were waiting for RE Engine to be ready.
Not too shabby.
That was the only reason Capcom was using Unreal Engine, was because they were waiting for RE Engine to be ready to go.
If I were you, if you're gonna heal, definitely use eggs before you use herbs.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So all the eggs are healing items.
Got it.
Eggs,
I thought I saw
fish,
something on the briefcase.
Any kind of animal thing you pick up and can put in your case is a healing item, essentially.
Let's talk about. There is a game developer's post I've read that addressed it as the door problem. And very simply, how do you let a player know that your door is actually interactable? And it is the same principle to do with why the boxes have yellow marks on them, and why I looked at this briefcase and thought it was something.
Right.
And in there, it's a UI thing, but...
Old photos.
Well, you know, it's like the age-old joke of gamers are like dogs, they can't look up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's annoying, but there is QA, like, evidence that they had to do that.
Yeah. Like, hey, you know, it's really strange that almost every single surface in Last of Us has this weird yellow scuffed paint marking on it, but without it, if you don't have a system like Breath of the Wild where every single part of the environment is climbable in some way, shape, or form, you're not going to be able to, like, if you know that everything is climbable, you're not going to be able to have that knowledge. You need to have something to differentiate it. Which is why I get that original post, like that guy who was complaining about the supply markings. I understand where he was coming from, but it also shows a huge lack of understanding when it comes to development as a whole.
Right.
Because he likes to sit there and be like, but like I also understand his point, because he turned around and was like, well, look at how Half-Life dealt with it, and it was like an in-universe supply box. I'm like, yeah, but this makes sense in Universe 2 for the Ganados. It's like, what? You think a Ganado's going to sit there and masterfully handcraft, like in factory seal, a supply box that tells you that there's ammo in it? It's like, no, they probably did throw a bunch of crazy shit in a bunch of, like, weirdly painted fucking barrels across the environment. Like, what more do you want, my guy?
Right.
Like, it doesn't pull me out of the experience. When I saw those, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Now, the difference was that in the original, that didn't happen, but that was because in the original, the texture was different.
It was simpler environments.
It was simpler environments, and so the texture was different. So you could see it had like less of a polygon count, so you could physically see. It's like, oh, it's brighter. It doesn't require as much like attention to the environment. And, like it pops out because everything in the environment is so much more detailed. And then you see these just like big fuck off like boxes and these beige boxes and barrels, and you're like, these are obviously like they hold items in them.
Yeah.
But as time has gone on and like details environments have shot up exponentially, it is harder and harder to show like people, hey, this thing is an interactable object. So I'm completely fine with button prompts like appearing. Another way that people did it before that I think Silent Hill does this really well without having the whole flashing in the environment is when you walk into a room, your character's head points at that object that's interactable.
Yeah.
So you can walk towards it and go, okay, there's something over here for me to pick up. I think that's a really cool alternative as well.
Yeah, I think Zelda, it definitely does that since Wind Waker, but it definitely, I thought that was a chainsaw. It definitely did that in Wind Waker on. I think it also did it in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Oh no, I heard a chainsaw. I swear to God I heard a chainsaw too. I guess it was just the music.
Yeah, maybe.
That's rude. That is rude as hell.
I still have a spare key. Or
did you not get to the top of the Village Sheep Manor?
Top of where?
Where I guess you need to find the key to the Village Chief's Manor, right?
Oh, that's it had a some puzzle piece that needs to be inserted into the door up here. Oh, I got it. Oh, incredible. Okay.
Amazing. Oh.
Can I rotate it from there? Yes, I can.
Indeed.
I can also use the mouse for this. Oh shit, could I have used the mouse before?
Yes, you probably could have.
That would have helped. It's still wrong. Hold on.
Definitely a lot less visible than the original.
It has to be this side.
Oh, it has to be that side. Go up a little bit. Yeah, try that.
Wait, it's not. There is no push in, so it's just. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey. Ooh, nice looking house.
Book.
I'm gonna love reading these. There's apparently a lot more amazing notes for lore reasons and stuff like that. I'm very excited. The notes are kind of like say they're an afterthought in the original, but the system for them, it just doesn't feel like as engaging as it did before. This one I can definitely tell. I definitely put a lot more emphasis on it.
Wait, there was more stuff. Leon, no, get out of the cutscene, Leon. Leon, stop the 16 by 9.
I was gonna say, why did it change so suddenly?
That's the 16 by 9 jump scare.
The blood has accepted the gift.
Yep, I was gonna say, is she there? Yep.
She tried.
Wait, so they make it so you can see her way more clearly. Okay.
Gift? My blood?
It's definitely a more new issue in 3D. The more realistic everything gets, and the fact that you would the way shading worked beforehand too, where you would have things like prefabs, but set environments and everything, and that's as we get closer and closer to real-time lighting, it gets harder to do.
Yeah.
I see Ada, I clap.
So the difference between this last version and the original and this one is that Torres wasn't the one who injected you. It was actually Sadler and in a lab with some other people. And you got kidnapped. So when he picks you up, he's wondering why you're alive. Oh, hold on.
I should have left him in that bag to rot.
Ooh.
I'm sending you the details. Take a look, but Baby Eagle is your priority.
Copy that. Making my way to the church. Condor 1, out.
My absolute favorite change on how they approach Umbrella was in the originals, everyone's always kind of like, Umbrella, huh? That's weird. But like in this one, Jill, everyone's like, fuck Umbrella. Fuck those motherfuckers, dude. Those guys suck. I fucking hated Raccoon City. That shit was awful.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I hate Umbrella. Which is going to be cool because apparently they're going to give a lot more credence to Operation Javier, which happened only in the Dark Side Chronicles. So it'd be really cool to see more about that and hear more about how him and Krauser had to deal with that and fighting Javier Hidalgo for using a version of the T-virus to do some crazy shit just to save his daughter. But then his daughter became like a fucking super cool... There's always this virus makes everyone super cool and gets super cool powers type thing. So, in the original, Torres was actually sitting there and he would turn to you and be like, ah, I see, your blood is the same as ours. Save him!
Guys, we gotta save him.
He is here! Yeah!
Oh, that TAA blur.
Take care of yourself, buddy.
So, fun fact, that is the Huey of, I'm trying to remember the name. It's that one game that Capcom created with the girl. Her name's Fiona. She runs around a castle. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Delirium or something like that. That's great. I love that Huey's alive. Because in the days, you walk up on a dog corpse in the first half of the game, and Capcom was not saying whether or not Huey was alive. Now, you can just leave Huey if you're an animal,
Right.
but don't do that, because Huey helps... Haunting Ground, thank you. Huey helps you in a boss fight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's amazing. But anyways, Torres was saying, yeah, you have the gift of our blood, and that scene was also brought down way further, because in the original, he gets shot at by Ada, and he just throws you, and he gets really pissed, and he rushes out the window at Ada. He just fucking full on sends it, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
More bats.
Ooh, this is spooky. This is new.
I thought he was getting ready to throw something.
Absolutely loving the fact that they're actually letting you kind of see the progression of day go on.
Yeah.
In the original, you kind of just... There's a moment where you just kind of pass out. There's a thing that happens, you pass out, and you just wake up, it's nighttime. But actually seeing what's going on in the environment is really cool.
Oh shit, we're back.
Yeah, so you're back at the original village because now you got the village insignia key, which you're gonna go use on the original church door. That people, when you bingoed on them,
Yeah.
they all ran to that church door. So now you have the key for that door.
Blocked off. Hold on. I have been, okay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I checked everything.
Yeah. Okay, that's new.
Alright.
Oh, hello. Those are evil. Shoot them.
They're running so fast, I feel like they're gonna fuck off.
No.
Oh,
This
Jesus.
is it. Shoot him. Why you got big mouth? Why you got them big teeth? Oh, shit.
Cheshire mouths.
There you go.
Yeah, yes. I have been quoted on stream as saying, no matter what game you're in, dog enemies are the goddamn worst. Every single time.
I think the Cheshire mouths were a good idea.
You definitely don't want to fight the Plagas variants of those, by the way. So kill those ASAP.
They
That's new. What the fuck do you do now?
what is it? Gives a little disconnect from what they actually are. Anyway, yeah. I guess we'll go around.
Oh, okay. So there's
right.
an underground. There's an underground. Because that's where you find the TMP secret. So you go outside through that door over here.
Oh, where?
This door, just right here.
Yeah, that's okay. Also, I don't want to turn around.
Understandable.
Well, now that I have a bomb, maybe I do.
Oh no, Discord. Discord, I'm physically seeing pixels. Your stream's still fine though.
Just watching stuff in that house over there disappear.
Oh man, it's turning into just pixels. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, just Discord. Stream's fine. Hey.
Yeah, I just see boxes. I see boxes that are in the shapes. All right, it's coming back. That was kind of cool, actually. Do you think Capcom will remake Resident Evil 5 now? I 100% believe that they are attempting to redo the entirety of Resident Evil.
Yeah, at this point, you might as well, especially because they're still trying to figure out how to get this to be more action oriented with like the way the multiplayer stuff works.
Yeah.
So it's kind of inevitable at this point. And for the integrity of 5 and 6, I really don't have as much of weight on that. So.
Because you haven't played 5 and 6, right?
Right, and I definitely still prefer Ari doing horror than action.
Yeah, so 5 and 6 were really weird. I think the way that Capcom approaches co-op games is amazing. And 6 has probably one of the coolest ideas I've seen that not many games do. Where there are several different campaigns, right, that you can choose. So you have like a Leon campaign, a Chris campaign, the Jake campaign, which is Wesker's son, and then Ada's campaign, which is unlocked. So what happens is that each of those campaign sections will intersect with one another. So when that happens, you can choose to match with somebody who's at that same level in their campaign, and it becomes a 4-player co-op game. Or 3-player if you're playing Ada or something like that, you know, and that's really fucking cool, because now it's like the person on the other side is like, they're all doing separate things, and the closest they had to something like that was like how Lost Plan 2 handled co-op. I love how Capcom approaches multiplayer games. I mean, that's why I'm like I love Exo Primal, by the way. It's really fun. But like, I think that Capcom are like the only, not only Japanese developer, but developer in general, who are trying to create these co-op like multiplayer experiences that are genuinely like new and engaging and doing something like fresh with the idea.
Yeah,
which is why I think like I still kind of want 5 to veer off into the co-op territory. Yeah, and there's actually a lot of people talking about like, hey, you know, it's weird because Lewis is with you in Remake a lot more than he is. Almost like they're trying to set up how it would work if somebody else was with you, walking around.
Right,
and he sets up kills for you. He does a whole bunch of shit. It's almost like they're trying to figure out how co-op would work. Oh, you're there, by the way, to your left.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of opportunities for them to still come back and create these like good co-op like horror moments, but still keeping the action at play.
Ah, shit.
The first snake of the game.
That was the scariest thing in the game so far.
So.
Should I ignore it or go kill it?
You can go kill it, and you can get a chicken egg off of it.
Okay, wasn't sure if it stopped. Viper.
Oh, Viper. Oh, okay, this is new.
Let's bring the whole ass snake.
Yeah, take a look at it. Maybe you can actually heal off of it.
There it is.
The poison glands are removed and may be eaten. Oh!
Can be used to restore health.
Examine it. Take a look. See what we can do.
Just the whole thing? You're just gonna eat the whole ass dead snake?
No. So I wouldn't do that. It says if the poison glands are removed, it may be eaten. So that might be something you can do later.
Yeah.
That's weird and new.
Speaking of weird.
It makes sense, kind of, because in the original, he would drop, like, chicken eggs. So my thinking was, canonically, Leon goes, fuck that snake, and then reaches into its gullet and pulls out an egg, and he goes, yes, soft-boiled. Los Illuminados. What the fuck is that? Looks like an El Gigante head.
Big guy. I'll visit him in a sec. Nice. Before another cutscene activates. Why'd he do that?
You know, Chris, when you say it like that, it makes sense, but it makes me upset.
Okay, then.
It's like, if there's something out there, someone has eaten it. Yeah, you're right. I hate that, though. Yeah, this looks like an El Gigante head. Not as big, though. Might be something else.
Yeah, that naked snake survival training.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because, like, honestly, that's like one of the bigger things that we see the difference of in this version of 4. I'd say more so than original, is that they are definitely trying to put like a more of an emphasis that Leon is far more capable than he was before. The power scaling, as it were, makes a lot more sense in this new remake timeline as opposed to in the original, where he's you know, he's just some fucking dude struggling with PTSD, and in order to do that, he just kind of hits on everything as a massive nerd. And Leon's a big fucking dweebus in the original. He's the biggest dweeb ever, and he definitely comes off like that guy who just left JROTC and thinks he's the coolest fucking kid on the block.
Yeah.
It's like, you're messing with the United States federal agent. Like, shut up, dude. Oh.
Did you see the attaching mines to the bolt thrower?
Yes, I did see that. That's really cool.
Is that new?
That is new.
Okay. Sell 3 Vipers. Well, I only got 1 now, so.
So, Xananimus, I'm here to go ahead and just, I'm gonna have to break it to you, my friend. The laser hallway is cut. Because all QTEs are cut, so the laser hallway has been cut.
Might save your life.
But there are several people turning around and saying that might just be because they're probably going to add it in the Separate Ways DLC, which might be a thing. So it's cut for now, but they might add it at a later time in the Ada DLC.
A deal well struck.
I think you can sell the Velvet Blues if you want, and then the gems you can use, you could save those if you want to put those into
Thank you.
the ornate designs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Perfect. So that's a good example. So we go over to it. Check your attaché case.
Will that be all then?
My what?
Press tab. Press tab on that item, or just go back. So go to key items.
Over here? No, it's not. Over here.
Key items. Okay, click on the treasure. Yeah, inlay gemstones. And then I think there is a menu. So you take a look and press shift. And you can actually see how many of these it would take. Like, this is what you can do for the colors, and how many colors you can input into the ornate stuff to get more of the multiplayer. So this is new. You can do this before in the original, but having this system basically laid out for you is entirely new.
Okay. And it's only got 2 slots, so just do, okay, 2 reds.
Yeah, 2 reds.
Cute.
Anytime.
Now you can sell that shit, and it's gonna be
way more.
quite a lot more.
A deal well struck.
That's cool. So you can actually hold on to those, and like there's reason to do so, because the biggest issue was you had to kind of sit there and ask yourself.
Your pocket.
Oh, you can put that in storage for now.
Oh, never mind. Just
amazing.
Not only will you need cash, but you'll need.
But guys, auto sorting's too easy. There she is, the one weapon in the game that I refuse to give attention to unless I need to.
We've been saving that one for the right customer.
The TMP is good, right? But it requires a lot of like work on it. If I were you, durability for sure.
Yeah.
Get that shit level 3 as soon as possible. So
nothing
fun
else
fact,
I'm really concerned about.
I think this game might do the same thing. If you're low on ammo for a weapon, level up the ammo capacity, gives you a full clip.
Oh wow. Let's look.
Shotgun, you could probably reload and get like a full clip in addition to the ammo you have. Oh well, I mean, I was like saying you could get a capacity.
I see what you meant. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So next time when you
Yeah, I'll
want to
save
like,
for that.
yeah, just save for that, and you can upgrade your capacity to give you a full clip of ammo right there.
Frame rate's dipping in this specific area.
There's a couple of areas for some reason that you'll walk by and it'll dip, but you'll just like get past and you'll be fine.
Yeah, weird. Not much going on. One of the funny things is it did default to like everything maxed out except
Volumetric lighting.
volumetric lighting defaulted to medium. They know.
I would argue that one, when you click on it, doesn't even add that much load to your GPU.
Yeah, and even then, when you like, even in the sample images, at least in RE2, it's
The FSR options are also really good.
you can't
here.
notice the difference really between any of the settings.
You can notice the difference between the settings, but like when you look at the load, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it's adding that much more.
Right, it's just in that preview image, it's so little.
Yeah.
I think because you have to like, I think the difference is in how you interact with it when you move through it, but still. Yeah, there's a reason that defaults to medium when everything else defaulted to ultra. Or at least the highest settings.
Yeah, the FSR settings, I know you don't need to use them, but
No.
like I'm probably gonna use the FSR settings myself because those are so good. You know, they work really well.
That and motion blur off and distortion off. The what is it? The thing is with anything that like the AI upscaling, right? Is the one thing AI upscaling is still struggling with is hair.
Yeah.
And like in accordance with that foliage detail. So like in Forspoken, when you're constantly looking at her hair, it bugs me to no end. And the other thing I was going to talk about it with TAA, if anyone is bothered by TAA, is how blurry TAA is or the artifacting from it. It's the same thing here, and people probably already know. In RE games, what they do is they let you turn off TAA, but underneath it, they've already baked in a sharpness filter. So when you turn it off, you're getting... This just isn't with anti-aliasing, this is the game with a sharpness filter applied to it. Because the game comes with a sharpness filter. RE engines all come with a sharpness filter underneath, because it's for the TAA. It's to counterbalance the TAA. So you turn off the TAA and, well, now you just have a over-sharpened game. It's kind of frustrating. I do usually use a reshade just to put a little sharpness on top of it, but the game crashed when I did that. But I haven't tried since then. That was before the NVIDIA drivers. I don't know, it might work now. I should upgrade reload speed.
Oh yeah, I would argue. So power is really good for crowd control weapons. Crowd control weapons are pinpoint accuracy. So I always for me personally, I focus on adding power to my handgun and my shotgun. Especially when you get a certain handgun later on called the Red 9. Apparently, it also is just as fucking wild in this game. They just kind of nerfed it a little bit because the accuracy is just a little bit off. You have to definitely aim that a lot more. Whereas in the original, so you can add a laser point to a specific weapon. By the way, the silver baller.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I think this is one of the only weapons you can add a laser sight to, which sucks because the laser sight does essentially make every shot a critical shot. Or at the very least, it makes it so you don't have to do that, wait for it to slow down to get, the proven critical.
Let's turn it to, from mid to just Nope, not that one, not that one. You. That's all I can imagine with the fog going on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah, and you're also streaming it to basically two different sources, so.
Right, yeah, because just for the people in chat, I'm also sharing it over Discord at the same time as streaming. But that was the other thing, right? Is all those other games. Just the sheer difference in what the XMP profiling did.
And Baby Eagle?
Negative. Nothing yet. But they sure do have this place locked up tight.
It was like, man, it's like a $2,000 PC. It really shouldn't be struggling like that.
Oh, she's here. That's for sure. I'll find a way in. Condor 1, out.
And it turns out, yeah, I really shouldn't have been struggling like that the whole time.
I think that's what I did is I went and, when I was saying Windows 10, there's an option on Windows 10 you can do for your RAM. I forget what it was exactly I did. But it was like, oh yeah, you're not utilizing the full extent of your RAM's memory. So I went and did a couple of options, and it was like, oh yeah, no, everything runs way faster now. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's something you can, because if you bought like DDR4, you might not be getting the full speed, and it's something your PC will report. That's just something I never paid attention to, though. I never paid attention to the clock speed of RAM, and I don't think most people do. So that's how it ends up easy to miss.
Well, because you sit there and you think, okay, well, I mean, it should just be fine. I don't have to unlock the RAM, but apparently you do.
Yeah.
So.
Apparently, the XMP thing. Yeah, XMP is Intel. It has another not abbreviation, but it's called something else for AMD. AMD, there is a literal equivalent for it for AMD, because I'm on AMD. So XMP is just the what everyone calls it, but XMP is the Intel version of it.
You know, Austin, I keep reading that. I don't know what they're saying. I just can't put two and two together.
I was reading chat.
So
I guess I can't either.
It was basically saying, hey, someone from the outside has come for the girl. The key is on the other side of the cave. You have to go through the lake to get to the cave, and the monster will deal with him.
Great. I'll grab my stuff.
It's time for Del Lago!
Yeah, if you Google like AMD XMP, it'll tell you what it's called, and then it's something you set up in your BIOS settings for your motherboard. Don't want to go that way, or that's the other side of the gate.
You want to go that way, yes. Lago.
I see.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oof. Had he thrown that at the, oh. I think you're gonna get away with that, actually. I think you got the really rare, the one like it happens in RE2 remake as well, where it's like sometimes a zombie grab will just kind of slip off.
Oh shit, there was a snake!
Oh, it was a viper! Okay, so the problem with the Engadget review, that journalist, really good. You look at her past work, she's not like a weirdo games journalist like some people are, unfortunately. She and I hate to say it like this, but it really was a skill issue. Like a lot of the things that she was complaining about were effectively skill issues, and it's totally understandable because she even talks about like the assist mode being like really helpful in the game. And that's what it's there for. So, I can't tell you because I haven't played it, but from what I can tell, just from like the chainsaw demo, and from what I'm watching, Austin's gameplay, I do think that the game is just better. A lot of games journalists have skill issues. I don't want to make this a thing about them. It's not about that. It's just more so that like that is unfortunately a frustrating conversation that could be had, where it's like, in order to be a games journalist, do you really need to be kind of good at video games? And I always agree that you need to at least have some dexterity. because you're not going to be able to understand the game's mechanics if you can't willingly engage with them on like a level of understanding how the game wants you to interface with it. And it's because I'm not going to be one of those weirdos who are like, oh, games journals are the worst. It's like, no, we still need games journalism. It's very, just like any other traditional journalism, it's a very important thing that we need.
Yeah.
But I do think that the argument that they don't need to be good at video games, like, no, they don't need to be pros, but you need to be able to play the game. You know what I mean? You need to have some modicum of ability to interface with a controller and not be confused with the mechanics at play. Because you can just outright present a very disingenuous take on a game that could just honestly be a skill issue, which in the Engadget review, God bless them, it's a skill issue.
Right.
It is because they, like, a lot of the things that they were talking about, there are things in the game, systems that are and mechanics that are built in to help with that.
Not unlike the same token of difficulty, but it's been noticeable with when Fire Emblem reviews out that the games end up being called, the characters are shallow, and for Engage, that's not necessarily wrong, but they said the same thing about Three Houses, and if you play Three Houses for the
that is not the case.
Several hours, yeah, for the like 90 minimum hours, it's not the case. But what's the thing is they haven't done everyone's support. Reviewers also are the turnaround time on reviews are also absurdly insane, and it's not really the reasoning's not the same thing applying to what we're talking about, but for what I'm talking about specifically, it ends up an issue of absurd turnaround time on getting a review out.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. No, wait. You know what to do. You know what to do. Back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
more than
there you go.
One of you? Yeah, come on in.
Yeah. Oh shit, he's gone.
Okay. I want that item.
But you know, well, it's like that conversation that I actually, if I could do a shameless plug real quick, I actually have a video about that
Sure.
for talking about the JRPG derogatory of how
Right.
Naoki Yoshida came out and was like, yeah, we don't really like being referred to as a JRPG. We just make RPGs. That you guys are the ones who call them Japanese games, and then there was this massive like affliction where people would look at JRPGs and go, I'm glad it's a JRPG, or you called it a JRPG, so I know to steer clear of it.
Yeah.
But there is just, unfortunately, I don't think it's as strong as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, it bordered on literal xenophobia.
Right.
But nowadays, there still is like a lot of people who look at Japanese titles or even European titles unfairly. And that's just par for the course. I would also argue that a lot more Japanese games are a bit more dependent on needing skill or some level of like some modicum of dexterity to play the games effectively, or at least to have fun with them. I would say that in terms of like going from Resident Evil 2 Remake, the skill there is more so about like learning, you know, the patterns and getting in it, like figuring out which battles to play. Whereas in 4, it is quite literally more so an action game from the get-go. So a lot of the skill is based around using the mechanics at play, using the dodge mechanic, using the parrying, doing stealth to thin out the herd before you go and fight the rest of the people there. Upgrading your weapons, doing all these different kinds of things that the game presents to you as mechanics that allow you to fight the difficulty that's difficulty spikes. Especially considering that every Resident Evil game has a sort of like weird Left 4 Dead director kind of thing happening in the background, where depending on how well or how bad you're doing, the director will sit there and go, okay, I'll give you more ammo for the weapon that you're using because it looks like you need it, or I'll relent on giving you as many health items, unless you're at the state of death. And if you're like really at the state of death and you have no health items, the next pickup will be a health item, essentially. So this drops tomorrow. So basically in a couple hours.
Yeah, there was a it would depend on where, like, how in tune you were in conversations in the day. From my line of work, I am digging through GameFAQs, archives, and forum posts, and sometimes I miss the era of forums, but the more I read, like, 2008 GameFAQs, the more I don't miss it. Jesus Christ,
sure.
it's a
cesspool.
Different, yeah, it's a cesspool. It's a Facebook for gaming.
You could hit it with it's a different time, and you would understand wholeheartedly, because it's actually insane how even like 10 years ago, you and I used to converse with each other in a far more different pattern. I would say I was a lot more rude, crude, and socially unacceptable in how I presented myself, more so than now, where I'm like I'm a bit more refined, I would call it. Or at the better, I grew the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And because of that, there's like that same kind of level of conversation that happens around video games as a whole. Now, there's always going to be
the
weirdos around it, but
yeah, one thing I can specifically say was today looking up Symphonia and how they in the PS3 version it returns the original Japanese opening, and the post around that, and then in the GameCube version it had a instrumental that it just had an instrumental, and the post about it being upset and being like the key words they were using were like disgusted by the J-pop that they were using for the music. And like even for people that were JRPG fans, like people that liked the game, there was still that. What am I doing about this, by the way?
that is just saying to you that there's a thing that can pick that up.
Okay, all right. Just
that
making
is basically going, hey bud, you ready?
There was also a blue medallion over here. Oh, I probably can't shoot it until that gate opens.
Well, it's, you know, a lot of the same. It's weird because so we forget, and I hate to literally give them credit for this, but we forget how much of a chokehold that 4chan had on the internet back in the day, where you're talking about like memes and all sorts of other shit. Like internet discourse as a whole was pretty much already dictated by things like Something Awful, 4chan, and a couple of other places, right? Mm-hmm. Kiwi Farms, Jesus Christ, you know, like these like basically that we know hellish cesspits were the image boards to go to, and they have not changed. Let me tell you, as someone who's a Legend of Heroes fan, trying to be a Legend of Heroes fan and play games that don't have translations out officially, but you can see them, having to go, and the only resource for me to actually get download these things, be Falcom General, it is the goddamn worst. I have never seen the most, like, xenophobic, racist people on the planet just because I want to play the silly JRPG game. Like, it is insanity. But yeah, you know, that just leads back to the conversation of there is this unfortunate, even now, look at like, oh, it's too Japanese. It's like, well,
right.
That's neither here nor there for you to say, right?
It's There's a like a better way to put it in terms of like, say anime you're into, but I don't. But the term of like it's too Japanese isn't really hitting the mark.
Yeah, it doesn't explain anything anymore.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything. You're like, what the fuck does that mean?
I will say, what is it? Watching, what is it? Capcom's been restreaming the Battle Network anime, and the Battle Network anime dub is very westernized in the same fashion of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not a 4Kids dub, but it was on Kids WB, so it sort of falls into the different, like, guidelines. And then you watch the Japanese version, watched it, you can't even officially watch it sub because there are no official subs. But it's radically different in how it presents itself, depending on audience.
Yeah.
You get some bang for your buck.
That would kind of, I can imagine that could instill that in what people say, or in what people grew up with it to be.
You best good luck to you, stranger. Well then, what can
Because even things like Pokemon are still, how it got treated in the West varies differently. I'm not.
So the Punisher, by the way, is a pretty good gun.
Heal a man, kill a man. They do it all.
The original game would have the Punisher given to you after you complete a certain side quest, and I believe you did because you got the 5 spinels for it. where you kind of shoot the blue medallions around the village.
Right, back in the beginning, yeah.
Back in the beginning. And in the original, you had to shoot 10 medallions that were just sort of around the area. You can get the Punisher. The Punisher is sort of like an upgraded version of the Silver Baller that you have. Pretty fun, pretty cool gun. And once again, like I said, you can sell these guns if you're like missing a whole lot of peseta at the time.
SG-09R.
Selection of good things on sale,
Okay.
stranger.
So the laser sight works on both of those.
Japanese center jokes. I mean, it also depends on who's doing the translation, right? Because there's an inherent difference between, so localization is really what it comes down to. The localization is always going to differentiate how certain things are approached. If you do a honest-to-God one-to-one localization, then you run into the same issue that I have run into with Trails of Cold Steel, where I love Legend of Heroes. I think it's an amazing series, but there's this really awful insistence upon them consistently talking about a relationship between two individuals where the age gap is upwards of 10 to 15 years. The person in general is, like, the man in the relationship is 24 when he meets this 12-year-old girl. And by the time of, like, the most recent game, like, which is, what, Kuno Kaseki, she's just recently turned 18. And this man is well into his 30s. And they still do that whole, like, oh, will they, won't they? And it's like, guys, what the fuck is this? It's like, why was this left in? Like, you know? But it's unfortunately such a core part of the plot that there's really no way to localize your way around it. And you can see a lot of this happen, especially in, like, Fire Emblem is a really good example, where there's the latest Fire Emblem Engage game had a situation where there was a reference to a potentially, like, weird aged relationship kind of thing going on,
right?
And it's just that kind of shit is when you go, this is the thing you get to call attention to, not the it's too Japanese. You go, this is a different culture's interpretation of this age gap, and I don't like it. Like, it doesn't work for us, you know. So you see a lot of people try to localize it, and they call it censorship, but it really is, at the end of the day, just trying to make a really awkward situation and make it less awkward.
Right.
So, you know, it's one thing to be like, I feel like it should be an open and closed shut case, but there's so many people who are like, I just don't necessarily agree with that thing. And neither does Japan, by the way, mind you. I want to make that 100% clear. A lot of people are sitting there and acting like, oh, it's like a normal... Like, no. There are several laws and legislation at play being put in to stop that stuff from happening. So, like...
Right.
If reviews call stuff out on like that, that's fine. But very rarely do you find that ever happening to be the case. Like, no one ever talks about those kind of inherent weird cultural differences that kind of make you go, you know?
I settle on saying that it's I would settle on saying it is censorship. It's just getting away from the notion that it's unwarranted.
Right. Yeah. Get that fool. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm so glad we figured out what that noise was.
I don't know. It's because what I try to focus on too is tackling it the same way I have to tackle every other subject. Is if it's you hear a game has censorship, a lot of people will immediately just hear it and turn off the game. I like to be like, all right, what is to what degree? What exactly is it? In the same manner of the game is missing content, the game is having performance issues.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that makes sense in the line of work that you do, where you are like, quite literally looking at the inherent differences between regional versions of the game and you know, everything else. So it makes sense, right? You do approach that from, I feel, a pretty objective standpoint, so that I think a lot of people can appreciate.
A well-tuned weapon can make up for a lack of suit.
Oh yeah, so take a look, see what you got.
I already.
Okay, so let's put it to the test. So you got, don't reload your shotgun. If you want to go ahead and add capacity to your shotgun, if you want to spend the money on it, that's up to you.
Yeah, I do. So
but see if
yeah, this one.
Yeah, let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. I'll take a look at it.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it didn't. What? I'm so sorry. They took that out then.
I actually took shots out of the clip. Or
That's
it
wild.
took loaded shots out.
Welcome.
That's weird. Why would they do that?
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
Next time, buy something, eh?
Yeah, because it's not an easy subject to just sweep one way or the other. So it is
Absolutely.
like, there's a lot of slippery slope fallacy attached to it that just comes from not thinking about it critically enough.
Yeah.
So it's depending
I
on the
always put it down
situation.
to-
I can't see really a situation where in Engage where they left Anna the way it was.
At least for an American release. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a conversation worth having. I have my own personal thoughts and views on it. But, you know, I also turn around and go, it is what it is.
Because and part of the point and part of covering it is if it's enough to knock people off of buying it, then I there you go.
What am I going to say to them? Like, I'm not going to... like, that's a conversation I'd rather not have.
Every time the cops show up, something else is happening to their bodies.
They're just... Well, have fun, by the way.
Great.
Yeah, no, the cops are basically like the very violent physical comedy. This what's the name for it? Not
With slapstick.
vaudevillian, maybe slapstick vaudevillian. Yeah, it's like look at what these dipshits are getting up to now.
Look at what their dead bodies are doing.
It's kind of a shame because it really was just two dudes who were just like they might as well have turned around and told you, man, I got 2 days from retirement, bro. I'm just here to help.
Yeah, sure. Not like I'm going out there yet.
If the boat's not there, probably not. If it is, all right.
I normally
Gotta do it.
take my time a lot more with this, but
You saved, right?
back at the
Same.
merchant.
Yeah, that's not that far from it, right?
Yeah, it's not that far.
All right, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
What am I doing?
Go to that lake and start firing into it.
Oh boy.
Get up right on that pier. No. Get up on the pier.
Come on. Fill the tank
Oh, so you
when
need
you're
the
done.
key. Oh, okay, so that's a new.
Yeah, so I can't.
Yeah. So it looks like I need to go in
so-
that cave over there.
Yep.
But go to that lake and just start firing into it, bud. Let's see if they still do it. Oh.
This first. Oh yeah, look at that. I think that takes way
Takes
longer.
a lot longer.
Yeah.
Less precedent on it, I think. There might be a way to improve that. I gotta see like what the stats do.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
God damn it. Change game mode. This probably still has a... What is it? Not dynamic difficulty, but... Okay, do we have to...
Well then, what can I do you for?
Oh, did it not save any of
Oh
your
shit,
I'm
it
so
saved before I did
sorry.
that. That's alright, that's alright. No, ammo capacity.
Dazzled,
And then I did,
are
Damn it, I didn't repair my knife before. Alright.
demands no less.
Oh, you do have a side quest, by the way. Oh, is that what it's marked for?
Ruby's
Oh, that's
rubbish,
cool.
it makes no difference.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Well,
You can sell those for the side quest.
Oh, so
Nice.
it'll, okay, so it'll remember. Yeah, might as well then.
Yeah.
Well done,
Cool.
stranger.
That's cool. I like
Anything
that.
else I can help you with?
Damn it.
I love how much
I'm
more
gonna-
somber this music is.
Yeah, toss one
I'll
jewel,
buy a deal well struck.
because I want that.
We're stuck
badly.
anytime.
And that was just, yeah, look at that. I already looked at that.
Look at this dope shit.
I was gonna ask because I could go to the elevator, I can go up there, or I can go down here.
The elevator might be the shooting gallery if you want to give it a shot.
Okay. Let me do this run again. Is the Japanese voice cast the same? I don't know.
Probably not.
Change all the bond stuff to platonic. It's yeah, it's varied across the board, and it's
I don't believe there was... Actually, I think about it. I don't believe there was a Japanese voice cast for RE4, because our Resident Evil has always been in English.
I know it's been English first, right?
Yeah, it's English first.
Yeah.
So even when you play the Japanese versions of the games, they use English voices. So because they want it to be very much like you were in America, which I appreciate actually
Right.
a lot. Gives it more of a vibe of authenticity. I think the thing that I'm so confused about now is that 8 has pretty much determined that there is a massive jump in time between 8 and what I'm assuming Resident Evil 9 is going to be, which is the first time that's ever happened, because Resident Evil happens in basically the same exact timeline. Like it's congruent with like our timeline. So in 2004, when this game came out, well, this game came out in January 2005, but basically it's like every single game that comes out, it's like, oh, it's the modern day year of 2013, it's 2014, or it's 2017 and then 2019 and going on therefore. But then like I think it does a massive jump forward in Rose's timeline. I haven't played Shadows of
I haven't either yet.
so I don't know. Oh wow, this is a lot more involved. Oh boy, have fun. Oh, looks like there's areas you can actually shoot for more points.
Yep.
Reload time.
I disagree. Disagree
Disagree with the shot being missed? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, sir. I definitely shot that. I can't see. I don't know if you've ever seen that that bit on SNL. There's a John Mulaney bit where he walks in with that sailor get-up, and it's such a funny bit.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, so you get tokens, which probably can go towards getting spinel to get more upgrades. Second has everyone speaking their native language, and there are 10 different languages in it. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing, and I love it. I love it to death. It makes no sense that Mishima will be talking full-on Japanese to somebody, and they'll respond back in their native language, and they both understand each other. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Right. I like the touch, though, at least outside of the story.
Yeah, it's cool, because, Tekken is a very, very large, multi-natural kind of, national kind of game, rather. With tons of amazing characters from different places. But I would also stand to reason that out of everybody, Mishima would probably be the guy who's a polyglot and understands and speaks all those languages anyway. Because he wants to fight everyone in every different nation. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I gotta get some of that Valorant crosshair placement going. There you go. One of the guy behind it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That was probably a call to swap weapons.
Oh, could it let you swap weapons? Or...
In this one, yeah. The third one lets you swap.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely based on how far back they are. I'm not pulling that off with a pistol.
Oh.
Rats.
Damn, that's a lot.
That one's probably a C.
Nope, you're good. Decided to both second and 8 and FF6 are coming out this year. Oh yeah, it's the fighting game renaissance is
8
here.
is not
Has
coming
been
out
here
this
for a
year.
while. Is it not?
No. Tekken World Tour is running until next year, January.
Oh, okay.
So
Makes sense.
unless they're gonna release 8, but then keep 7 as the World Tour game.
Hey.
Nice. Can I attach that now?
Probably can. E-item?
I remember a menu for it earlier.
Maybe it's in the strangers menu.
Which one?
I'd like go talk to the stranger. It's probably
Oh,
in that
right.
menu.
Okay, yeah, probably. Yeah, Tekken 8 will be next year, which is why it's really weird that they're showing so much, but it's the reason they're showing so much probably has to do with lining up trailers for events.
Gun rhymes with fun for a reason, stranger.
Especially because those events just won't have Tekken 7 trailers.
You buy it.
So I have to imagine that has to be behind their decision for it. No, I think it's a. Damn it, man!
Yeah,
I
Steam
know
is
I ran
really
into.
dropping the
I
ball.
looked at the menu earlier.
Steam is really dropping the ball on this preload, man. We're not getting it. We're just got.
Oh, here we go. I don't preload anymore. Preloading's a waste of time. Games download faster than they preload. Preload's a lie on PC.
Yeah, it's true.
Straight up.
Welcome.
You would be playing faster if you just deleted the preload and re-downloaded.
That is true.
I think I'm starting to get a visual migraine. I'm not sure, but either way, it's
Oh, I hate those. The ones where you can see the kaleidoscope in your eyes.
yeah. So either way, so now is a good time to wrap up. It's been 2 hours, and I gotta take care of Rita as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Next week, I'm not sure what I will do because we still, there were still the PS1 JRPGs on PS5. Either Legend of Dragoon or Wild Arms, because those are on PS5 for the PS Plus service. So I might look at those and talk about that emulation. Either that or on Go to Bedcast tomorrow we're gonna be playing Splatoon. And in the meantime, actually I want to get the Tales of Symphonia video done, and I might have that next Friday, but I will say at this point it's a really overwhelming project, so I wouldn't fully expect it by next Friday. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting a aura migraine, so I gotta go take care of that. Yeah, I gotta take my turmeric and medicine and not lay down but stand up and put ice on my head. So I gotta do that for the next 2 hours. Yeah, and on Wednesdays I'm on Go to Bedcast, and I'm playing Fallout New Vegas over there on Wednesdays. Phil, where can everyone find you?
Hi, you can find me at my Twitter at philshere. Or just basically philshere. It's PHILLZ.
Yeah, you can link that in. Yeah, go ahead and link it in chat.
Sure.
I realized when I was streaming with Max, that's probably what we should have done in the first place, so just link it in chat.
You want me to? I can also link his real quick if you'd like.
Link what?
Link Max's as well, just for
Yeah.
monetary purposes. You can find me there. I will be streaming RE4 myself around 12 on Twitch, so all of my other links are on there as well. Thank you so much, Austin. It's always a fun time.
Yeah, no problem. I was happy to have you on.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we got. I'm going to, and this is a Go to Bedcast YouTube channel, but we stream on Twitch over there, so that's just where you'll find the Twitch link is on that channel. Yeah, so I'm gonna go take care of myself. So until next time, thanks everyone for the continued support.
Bye, guys.